We watched Leprechaun 2. Oh, where do you find these nudies? I had never seen this before. Let's get into it. Okay. Leprechaun 2 is from 1994. It lasts about 1 hour 25 minutes and it stars Warwick, Davies and no one else. The movie opens up in Ireland 1,000 years ago. And you see the little leprechaun, he's chasing this guy through the forest. And the guy's like, oh no, the leprechaun's gonna get me.
I'm gonna get you.
Or rather, oh no, the leprechaun's going to get me. Is he from Bombay? That's Irish, that's not Irish. The leprechaun catches the man. What's the leprechaun's name? I don't know if we find out in this movie what his name is, but let's just call him Leprechaun. Fine. Anyway, the leprechaun catches the man. We find out it's Leprechaun's birthday. Why? I don't know why that's important. But the leprechaun says, I'll let you go if I can find my bride. If I meet a woman and she sneezes 3 times, she has to marry me. What kind of a rule is that? I don't know, but apparently that's the rule. If you sneeze 3 times and a leprechaun hears you, you are betrothed.
Betrothed couple.
Good luck, hay fever sufferers. The leprechaun shows the man which fair maiden he has his eye on. It turns out it's the man's daughter and she's hanging out her washing in the middle of the night. Yeah. She sneezes and then she sneezes again. And then before she can sneeze a 3rd time, the man runs off. And somehow this breaks the pact. It means the leprechaun can't marry the young lady, no matter how many times she sneezes. Why? I don't know. Don't ask why about this movie. So the leprechaun instantly gives up. He says, I'll have my revenge. I'll take your offspring as my bride. In 1,000 years.
What?
Why not just 10 years or 5 years? Just go and see the young girl hanging her washing out again. Yeah, I don't understand. Why wait 1,000 years? I really don't know. So 1,000 years later, we are in LA.
Ooh, LA.
Why? I don't know. We started in Ireland. For some reason, we're now in Los Angeles. Hollywood, to be specific. Yeah, and there's this young guy, Cody, and him and his uncle, Norty, are doing these, like, sticky tours of Hollywood. They're showing places where, like, Bela Lugosi filmed, or where Vincent Price lived, and things like this. Horror hotspots in Hollywood. What? Never mind. But they're basically making it all up. They're con artists, and they're just conning tourists out of money. He goes to see his girlfriend, Bridget. And these kids are like 17, maybe 18. Yeah, they're about that age. Now, Cody and Morty are just about to start a shift, conning tourists. Yeah, that Norty is too drunk. So Cody has to drive the car, and Norty just stays in the dark, getting more drunk. Now, before Cody and to meet Bridget, we saw people queuing up and waiting for this tour to begin. And they're still waiting. They wait the whole time that he sees his girlfriend, goes to see his uncle, finds out his uncle's drunk, gets the car keys, takes the car. Meanwhile, in the woods surrounding Hollywood, we see a homeless guy and he's drinking a bottle of whiskey and he trips up, drops his bottle of whiskey and some whiskey pours into the ground. Where he spills it is next to the roots of some trees. One of the trees opens up and out comes the leprechaun. All the way from Ireland. The homeless guy cannot believe it. So the leprechaun drinks the guy's whiskey and then steals his gold tooth. Now Bridget was tagging along with her boyfriend Cody on this tour. She is getting fed up. She says, this is the worst thing I've ever been part of. Drop me off at my friend's house. Her friend is this hunk called Ian. Well, I don't know if he's a hunk. Yeah, he's got money though. Well, he does have money. And a big guard dog. Yeah. So Cody's like, what? You staying with this guy? And she's like, yet. So long, sucker. After this, Cody is arrested for conning these tourists. His uncle Morty comes and bails him out. And while they're at the police station, the homeless guy comes in. Hehe, missing a gold tooth. And he's here to report a leprechaun. While Cody's at the police station, Ian is dropping off Bridget at her home. and he starts to get a bit handsy. He tries to kiss her. She says, "Oh no, I like Cody." "Yeah, and I thought your nine going in." Well, he tries to kiss her. She pushes him off, and she runs in the house. He storms off, annoyed and frustrated, because it seems like he was getting mixed signals. He was.
Yes, he was.
Then he hears her voice from the open garage. Yeah, so he goes in, and he sees her standing there, alluringly. So he knocks up, and he leans in to give her a good big kiss. And then we see the leprechaun hiding in the shadows. He's casting a spell, making Ian think he's seeing something that isn't there. He kisses a fan, so obviously his face is cut off. Luckily we don't see it. Yeah, we don't see that, but no, because that would cost money. The leprechaun laughs at this gruesome murder and then runs off. Yeah, and then Cody comes to Bridget's house. He goes in the house and he's like apologising to her and all this. But while they're speaking, the leprechaun is hiding behind the couch. And he somehow makes Bridget sneeze 3 times. Cody's like, "What is that, horrible little man? Get it?"
Well, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, so the leprechaun wraps a phone cable around Cody's neck and tries to strangle him to death. Yet, while Cody's been choked, the leprechaun tries to marry Bridget. Yeah, that she knocks the gold out of his hand, and he's obsessed with gold. He's like a greedy old man. Well, he's a leprechaun. Yeah, she knocks out of his hand. That distracts him. She tries to get away, but it doesn't work. No, they're not married. That leprechaun still takes her to his lair anyway. Underground, the leprechaun starts to tell her his plan. He's like, "Oh, we're going to have a litter of Davies. You're going to give me so many Davies, even though you're like 16 or 17. And he starts rubbing gold on her. Yeah, he's obsessed with her. He's obsessed with gold. By the way, she's a descendant of the Irish guy from 1,000 years ago, if you haven't figured that out. So he's going through his gold and he realises there's a gold shilling missing, a gold coin. Yeah, it's in the house with Cody. Cody managed to grab it when Bridget knocked the gold out of the leprechaun's hand. That's right, so this becomes a problem for the leprechaun. Yeah, he needs it back. So he heads back up to the surface world to try and collect the coin. Meanwhile, Bridget goes for a walk around his lair. Now Cody goes to tell Morty all about the leprechaun. He shows him the gold coin. The leprechaun appears and tries to get the coin back, but wherever they are, there's like iron bars between Cody and Morty and the leprechaun. Yeah, so the leprechaun touches the door and he gets burned. That's his weakness, iron, it seems to be. Yep, so he can't get the coin just now. After this, Cody and Morty go to a bar, and there are lots of little people dressed as leprechauns. Yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day. You should have mentioned that. Well, it doesn't really matter, but it's St. Patrick's Day, so yeah, every little person, actor, has been hired to be a leprechaun. The real leprechaun comes in, and I thought he might be angry. He might be like, "Look at this mockery of my heritage," and start wasting people.
They took our jobs!
But he doesn't. He instead talks to Morty, and Morty and him agree to have a drinking contest.
Are you joking?
And all the little actors are cheering on the leprechaun because they think he's one of them.
I can handle me drink.
But Morty wins the competition. He can outdrink anyone apparently, even a mystical creature who's over 1,000 years old. But it doesn't matter because Leprechaun just hits him and runs off. Such clever storytelling. Meanwhile, underground, Bridget is still rooting around. She finds a chest and it's full of whiskey and it's full of artifacts, shillelaghs and old weapons and things. Yeah, so she takes a pickaxe, or is it an ice pick? I think she takes the ice pick. And she's like, "I'm going to use this. I'm going to kill that little guy." Cody and Morty seem to realise 2 things here. They seem to realise that iron is the weakness of the leprechaun, and they know where they can get an iron box to keep him in. They break into Ian's father's office, where there's a massive iron safe. I don't know how they knew it was there, no, but they decide to steal the safe, and its contents, of course. But they take the safe, and their plan is to trap the leprechaun. Yeah. Morty is caught by security on the way out. He instantly gets away, somehow. And then the leprechaun appears. Cody tricks the leprechaun into going into the safe. They close the door, and the leprechaun is trapped forever. Well, that could have been the end, but Morty starts speaking to the Leprechaun through the door of the safe. The Leprechaun says, I'll grant you your every wish if you just open the door and let me out. So, Morty does. He wants his wish fulfilled more than he wants his nephew to be safe. So, he opens the door and he says, right, I wish for lots and lots and lots of gold. So Leprechaun gives him lots and lots of gold in his belly. Yeah, it's gross. And he's dead. Uncle Morty is dead. The Leprechaun is free. The movie continues.
Fuck yes.
Now Cody decides to run off. Quite snapped. Yeah, I would have run off a long time ago. But Cody tries to run off. Another security guard appears and says, you're going nowhere. I saw you stealing that safe. Yeah, and then the Leprechaun comes flying up on a little go-kart. Where did he get it? Who knows? That he comes along in a little go-kart, takes out the security guard. He tries to take out Cody as well, but he can't. Cody is protected because of the shilling. So the magic of the coin means Cody cannot be hurt by the Leprechaun.
Them's the rules.
What you gonna do, Leprechaun? Who's the big man now? Well, not you. The Leprechaun goes back to Lair to check on his bride-to-be, Bridget. But Bridget tries to stab him with the ice pick. Doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. Instantly fails. She's just left with a bent ice pick and a feeling of regret. Cody arrives in the underground lair. I think using the magic of the coin, the shilling, he has been able to find the lair. So he goes down underground, and the first thing that happens is he has to fight skeletons.
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought when I watched it. He has to fight skeletons just because. Bridget manages to use the ice pick, which is now bent, and she uses a lockpick. She picks her lock, she manages to escape. Her and Cody reconnect. They're running around the tunnels of this underground lair, but there's no way out, there's no escape. You're here forever. They get split up in the tunnels, and then further along, Cody sees Bridget, and Bridget's standing there. She's like, oh, come to me, my love. Give me the coin, give me the shilling, and we can get out of here. Seems suspicious. So they kiss. Cody hands Bridget the coin, and then we discover Bridget was not Bridget. She was actually the Leprechaun. Who could have seen that coming? A 3-year-old could have seen that coming. Well, okay. Anyway, Cody has an iron bar. He stabs it into Leprechaun. The Leprechaun doesn't understand. As he's dying, he's thinking, how can this be? I've got all my coins, I should be protected. Yeah, and then they find out the coin that Cody handed over was actually a chocolate coin from the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Real milk chocolate, genius.
Yeah, he tricked him and then stabbed him. Yeah, quite the trick. Bridget and Cody managed to escape the lair. Bridget says, how did you know that wasn't me? How did you know it was a leprechaun? And Cody says, he kisses different. And then they kiss for real. Cody takes the real coin out of his pocket and chucks it on the ground, and they walk off into the night. The end. That's the end. There's no little moment. There's nothing before the credits, during the credits, or after the credits where Leprechaun, his hand comes up through the ground to grab the coin, or you hear his laugh, or there's a little chink of light, or anything like that. Nothing. That's it. Cody's thrown the coin on the ground for no reason. He could have had that magic, that gold in his life for as long as he wanted, but he just chucks it. And that's the end of the movie. You say movie. This is not high art. It's not high art. Most of the things we watch aren't high art though. I beg your pardon. Listen. Well, we watched a masterpiece recently. Did we? Yeah. What was that? Maniac Cop. Obviously, there are more of these, because this is 2, so there must be Leprechaun 1. Yeah, I've not seen that for a long time. Jennifer Aniston's in it. Who? She was in Friends. What? It was a show from the 1990s. But yeah, there are also other sequels. How many? Well, in total, I think there are 6 Leprechaun movies. Don't worry, we won't watch them all. Okay, I hope you can guarantee that. Yeah, we won't watch them all. We might watch them all. I would not recommend this. Even if you get like 85 minutes to spare and you get absolutely nothing else to do, I still would not recommend this. I'm right there with you. We're gonna go hit like, hit subscribe. We'll see you next time. Oh, they got their lucky charms.